There is no question that Justice Breyer, for whom I have great respect, should retire at the end of this term. I mean, my goodness, have we not learned our lesson?
Just to be clear, you do think that Justice Stephen Breyer should retire at the end of this term?
I'm inclined to say yes.
I do believe that he should retire prior to the midterms. I think that would be best for our country.
Progressive Democrats got what they wanted. Supreme Court Justice Stephen Breyer announced his resignation. Ironically, this comes the same week Nancy Pelosi announced she would run again. She's been in the House for 35 years, which is 7 years longer than Justice Breyer has been on the Supreme Court. Progressives were in a hurry to get rid of Justice Breyer, who is 83, but the top 3 Democrats in the House are all over the age of 80 themselves, and they don't seem to be going anywhere. Irony aside, Breyer's retirement does give President Biden a chance to fulfill at least one campaign promise as the midterms near. Joining us now is Senator Marsha Blackburn from the great state of Tennessee, who sits on the Senate Judiciary Committee. Welcome to you, Senator. Another Supreme Court confirmation hearing. I hope some of your colleagues on the committee treat this nominee with more respect than they treated Amy Coney Barrett. What do you think?
What we know is that this is going to be one of those fights that we will have as to how the Senate goes about providing advice and consent, which is our responsibility and our constitutional duty. And I agree with you. It would be nice if we would see this approached as a respectful process, respectful to the institution of the Senate and respectful to the Constitution of the United States, and make certain that we do the vetting that is necessary, that we spend the time reviewing rulings and writings and opinions and listening to speeches. Our duty is to make certain that we have constitutionalists that go to the bench, people that are going to be fair, that are going to uphold that Constitution and the rule of law, and try to be certain that we do not put people on the Supreme Court or the federal bench who are going to be activist judges and are going to make rulings the way they would like to see things be, rather than making rulings based on the rule of law.
You know, Senator, even senators that serve a long, long time, and we've had quite a few in South Carolina, the likelihood is that a Supreme Court justice will serve longer than any senator. So as you go through the advice and consent process, what are you looking for in a nominee, and how does that process work in your own mind as you're vetting these nominees?
Yes, and as we get a nominee, then what we will do is look at that record of their rulings and their opinions, their writings, and pull that around and ask those questions. Is this based on the Constitution? Is it based on the rule of law? Has this person served as a judge? You know, Trey, one of the issues we've had with the Biden administration when it comes to putting judges on the federal bench for district courts or appellate courts is they are sending us people who are to the left, they're radical, they have radical writings or opinions, they're outside of the mainstream. Some of them have been very active on social media and have been anti-conservatives and have not had that even-handed temperament that you know so well is expected of judges, to think things through. Many times we have people presented to us who have never spent 1 minute serving as a judge in any capacity at the city, the county, the state level, but they're trying to put them on the federal bench. But the vetting process is really such an integral part of selecting a judge who, as you said, this is a lifetime appointment. And I really do feel a little bit for Justice Breyer because it appears that he was being pushed out. The White House, for political gain, revealed that he was looking to retire. They did not wait for him to make this announcement. They made that announcement on their time and in their manner to go ahead and push him out so that they could have a better day in the news cycle, which has not been good for them this year.
Yeah, you know, Senator, I'm so old now. I've got a lot of friends who are judges, and the best ones have this one characteristic in common, and that is humility, to know they're not legislators, they're not super legislators. It takes humility to be a judge. So I love confirmation hearings. I can't wait to watch you, and I think there may even be a guy from South Carolina on your committee. I may watch him too, but I look forward to it. Thank you for your service.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.